They promise overnight delivery, on time, when you need it, where you need it. Their name is synonymous with excellence. They are worldwide, respected, emulated by competitors. They've revolutionized worldwide logistics. They are known by a mere yet iconic acronym, 5 measly letters translated to, "It'll be there overnight." That name is FedEx, and how they've mastered aviation and the art of customer-centric, business-efficient delivery. Founded in 1971, it was humble beginnings. It was the 60s. Fred Smith, an undergraduate at Yale, it's his econ class paper. Smith argues the emerging tech industry requires a better delivery model for business-critical components. It was now slow, cumbersome, inefficient, but most of all, unreliable. No promises, because the system depended on established passenger routes and aircraft unprepared to accommodate heavy, medium, or even light non-people transport on a scale required to meet business needs now, but even more challenging in the future, to be a viable seed to economic successes. Delivery, on time, to the customer simply required an aviation-focused logistics model which could expand and contract as required to meet the need. His paper defined 20th and 21st century logistics and how use of the skies could integrate into a macro world scenario. Logistics 401 it was. The fun was just beginning. 1971, Federal Express was formed. April 17, 1973, 14 Falcon 20 jets carried packages to awaiting customers. Based in Memphis, the ideal location, central, the climate was aviation-friendly, infrequent inclement weather, near major population centers, 25 cities initially, the logistics flight plan was set. Like every business, profitability was the challenge, and the first few years were on track. They weren't. Fred's financial backers stayed the course, as did Fred. He knew it would work with the right team. 1975, profitability was not on the right side of the ledger, but there was something else required to ensure the dots would connect. Fred knew it, and Federal Express pushed hard to achieve deregulation of cargo transport. 1977, it happened. Translated simply, there were no size limits on the aircraft, and soon 7 Boeing 727s and later DC-10s were flying the logistics routes necessary for even more profitability. But to grow the company expansion meant a listing on the New York Stock Exchange. The aviation matrix was no longer uncharted, it was falling together. Needed the right air crews, the right logistics team, and an efficient Memphis. More meant more, and never shying from incorporating technology, in 1979, Federal Express was the first shipping company to incorporate computers to manage package delivery. And in 1980, it was same-day delivery for select destinations, service to Canada in 1981, and in 1984, true international carrier status, adding Europe and Asia. But it was one tech addition which would resonate with shippers, the Super Tracker. Revolutionary as it was, it meant real-time, instant tracking using barcodes. But now it was the late 80s, and Federal Express exploded. Purchasing the Flying Tiger line, it was now the largest all-cargo hauler in the world. This flight plan was on altitude, on speed, and on glide path. Officially FedEx in 1994, it was already the nickname which translated to excellence. But in 1995, FedEx became the sole American-based company with delivery rights to China, opening their Pacific hub in Subic Bay, the Philippines. The European hub in Paris fell in line just a few years later. Growing up is never easy. In 1998, FedEx became a holding company. FDX Corporation it was, an acquisition of everything logistics. Transportation company Caliber Systems, which included ground transportation and logistical technology companies. In 2000, renaming happened. The FedEx Corporation. The cargo line was FedEx Express, and there was FedEx Freight and FedEx Ground. And it was Kinko's next, printing, copying, and shipping. A perfect fit, rounding out customer total service. Business solutions for everyone. Mexico, Poland, Brazil, India, and others, expansion only accelerated. In 2015, TNT was acquired, significantly enhancing the FedEx Express network. Today, FedEx is the largest aircraft cargo fleet in the world, 777, 767, 757s, MD-11s, and Airbus 300s and 310s. Over 400 aircraft in total, and an additional 280 under contract. Who knew Memphis would really be the home of FedEx International, a nightly show of aircraft landing and departing for destinations everywhere? FedEx leads from the front, not the rear, committing to achieving carbon neutrality by 2040. For its historic and future leadership as the worldwide leader in air shipping, for its assurances to business to ship anything, anytime, on time and on location, for its visionary and revolutionary awareness to maximize aviation efficiencies in the transport of valuable cargo and business essentials from the most simple to the most complex, and for its creation of a world-renowned aviation cadre of pilots and technicians ensuring excellence across the board every time, the San Diego Air and Space Museum takes great pride inducting FedEx Corporation into the International Air and Space Hall of Fame.